Hello, everyone. It is once again Shani Shay and Nia J, and we are here to talk about education, incarceration, and entrepreneurship. And we have the wonderful Dejuan here from Defy Ventures, and we just want to get to know you. So first, we're going to ask if you would please just introduce yourself, and I guess tell us a little bit about Defy Ventures.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. You too. It's a pleasure. So my name is Dejuan Lewis. I am the director of Defy Ventures of Northern California. I come from a reentry background, having ran a transitional facility in San Francisco for about 6 years. I housed about 90 ex-lifers. It was there that I began the process of understanding what reentry is, what anxieties are, what triggers are, and the drivers that put people, in a certain mind state after reentering society. And I'm an entrepreneur as well. And now I'm with Defy Ventures. We are an entrepreneurship and employment readiness program. We are a national organization, but I am spearheading the Northern California chapter. We run in-prison cohorts. It's about a 1,200-page 4-book curriculum for individuals that range from business ideation, from networking, marketing, all the way to grief, dealing with trauma, workplace diversity, and even the social and racial justice issues as well. So it's a pleasure to be here, just to be talking with you ladies, and just here to spread the word.
Great, thank you so much for the introduction. Our next question for you is, where do you believe incarceration and education and entrepreneurship all intersect?
I think that for those who are formerly incarcerated, such as myself, right? I was down 5 years in Smith State Prison in South Georgia, right, which was a foreign place, a foreign country. And I think that, having the opportunity to be able to build equity in the communities that some once took from, can be extremely impactful and important. And to see that there is an economic divide with economic opportunities for individuals who are incarcerated, whether you're dealing with credit scores, you're trying to get an SBA loan, or just having the opportunity to be able to get into markets such as real estate or the tech world. Those doors are shut, right, because of your backgrounds. And so I think that, there's many individuals like myself who do have the intrinsic motivation to change, who can change, who have changed, and that are not defined by what they've done in the past, right? And so I think that the intersection is being able to give individuals an opportunity who have the skill set to become an entrepreneur, to build equity in the communities, to be able to bridge the gaps with some of the economic divide. It can enhance the communities that we live. It gives a unique perspective, right? For, let's say like a different approach than what is the norm. And really helps individuals who have walked through similar shoes have that belief, because now you become a pro-social model. You become, a pillar in a sense to be able to change that generational divide and gap. And I think that, truly it's been a blessing working for Defy, because it's given us the opportunity to be able to help bridge that gap and see the importance of bridging those gaps, right? Between the incarcerated, entrepreneurship, right, and employment.
That was like very poignant. I always enjoy interviewing people who have not only lived experience but also are able to be credible messengers. So something that you mentioned was the administrative part of well, not administrative, the systemic, right, which then relates to administrative part of the barriers that a lot of previously incarcerated people face when going into entrepreneurship. So if you could just excuse me, on some of your own experiences, maybe challenges that you were able to overcome when you were going through your beginning entrepreneurship, and what you see with the people that you're serving today.
Wow, it's about being told that you'll be back in prison for day after day, year after year, right? From the guards, from the wardens, right? Having that finger pointed at you, you know, that it really weighs on you. And then looking at several individuals that you were incarcerated with actually coming back. And so then you begin to wonder, you know, what is it, right? What is it that's not happening? And then what is it that is happening that's keeping these individuals coming back? And then and then you really look at, you know, you really look in the mirror, right? You really have to self-check yourself and really understand that, you know, you are behind an 8 ball, so to speak, because of the felony that is now on your jacket that you wear. And unless you know somebody that knows somebody, right, it's hard to knock on certain doors and actually have the other side open up and listen to you, let alone even have a chance to even know where the door is at. And that's what I like to call the perception versus reality. And that's one of the things that I fought so hard for and continually on a daily basis, is to help rid the perception that has become a false reality from those that don't understand what, you know, incarceration means for somebody, or what it has done to somebody, or the perseverance that people can do from having that incarceration. And so some of the barriers are just having the door shut in your face, not having even the wherewithal to even know where to first look, or how to look, or even understanding that these doors are even open for us, right? Because you've had the door shut in your face for so long, you have a felony on your back, your networking circle may not, you know, be broad. So where do you go? What do you do, right? You may not have even known what the word entrepreneurship is, let alone, you know, you may not have even had a job before, right? A legal paying job. So where do you begin? And so, you know, it starts from within. It truly begins with your network, with your circle, with your peer group, you know, and the belief. And so for me, being told no, the perception of what, you know, people thought, what I was or what I had done, right, was now who I had become. Um, and so I wanted to help change that into the actual reality, because what if you were remembered for the worst thing that you've ever done, incarcerated or not? That'll cause you to think about a few things right now, right? And so there's that perception, right? And then there's the anxieties, right? And then there is, again, you know, being able to go, for me, being able to go to the bank and get a loan, but having a felony on my record, right? What's that like, right? Well, I can tell you what it's like. It's an incline. It's a steep incline, you know. And you know, sitting in front of council members, or sitting in front of, you know, the Chamber of Commerce or the mayoral councils, and trying to convince them, you know, what the services that I have is pertinent to be able to help, you know, change the fabric of this particular city, or to be able to enhance this city. And, you know, and then, you know, there's just so many, and then not having the resources, right, to be able to you understand, you know, where do I look for certain materials? How do I get to certain curriculums? Okay, now what's the cost? Okay, I can't get a loan because I've been incarcerated for so long. Now my credit score, you know, is warped. So, you know, so there's so many different hurdles, roadblocks, and speed bumps, that come along with just having the felony, right? And having this on your jacket. And it's just, it becomes frustrating, and people give up. You know, and then that's where it's severed at, because you no longer feel like you have the energy, or like you can, and people give up and don't allow their blessings to be manifested.
Wow, I just want to give a few snaps to that, because that was beautiful. One of the things that Shani and I have actually been discussing on this week's show is like social media's role in all of this whole system, right? And so something that you just mentioned, perception and reality. I'm not sure if you're aware of like the new TikTok boom that's happening, where a lot of people who are incarcerated are using TikTok to be able to show like the realities of what's happening inside prisons, right? And so we spoke to someone that calls himself the social media doctor. They're not really a doctor, but they just wrote a whole book on its like influence and things. So we want to know, just to tie it all in, like, does social media play a role or have a part in Defy Ventures? Like, do you guys use it for outreach or communication, or yeah, or anything you want to say about social media's part in this whole context?
Yeah, I think that, that's interesting that you say that because, like, for instance, with LinkedIn, right? I'll just use that as an example. We have a strong partnership with LinkedIn. They've been an amazing collaborator. We host workshops with them. I'm actually doing a presentation for LinkedIn here next month. And I think that that has been a platform that has been extremely helpful in networks, right, reaching out once they hear about our organization and the word of mouth, right. And I get hit up on LinkedIn every day, like literally every day, about something, well, really pertaining to Defy Ventures, right, and how they can get connected and what ways can we um, collaborate. And then there's, of course, there's IG, right? There's the gram, right? And so, so we have our Instagram page, and we're able to show various workshops that we do, just little snippets. We do, of course, everything is virtual now. So we do screenshots, we put that on there. We have our hosts, for the different events. And then there's Facebook, of course, where we have a Facebook page. And I think that has become instrumental. I don't know if I haven't seen a TikTok, if for Defy, and I hope they don't ask me to do it, but but I think that but the internet, just in itself has become such a portal, that's larger than the radio, and it's even larger than word of mouth. It's like that is the word of mouth now, right? Is social media, and I think that there can, you could make or break, right, your company or yourself, right, through social media. So I think being careful, right, with tact, and understanding, like platform that you have and the platform that you want to have, I think is huge in social media. And so we're getting better, we're expanding at that, but I think that we do a decent job. But those are the three that I could say that I think we have a pretty good fingerprint on.
Right. And it's like it's so interesting, like, right, like as it all ties together. It's like this one thing that seemed very trivial at one point is now essentially the new form of nepotism. And when you mentioned LinkedIn, I just thought about underground scholars and how all of these type of organizations actually provide the nepotism that is necessary for success and the way that our society is built. So definitely glad that you were like open to exploring that side of Defy Venture, because we do know that it's important to have that presence. And so I also want to thank you for taking the time and energy, because it's also a lot of work to do the actual work. Right? It's like there's the work, and then there's the outreach. And so to just respect you and your time and everything that you've given us, we want to surmise the interview with asking you what would you say to previously incarcerated entrepreneurs? What do you say to those of us who are trying to create sustainability for ourselves and for others?
You know, interdependence is a word that I truly breathe and live on a daily basis, and understanding that. So during Hurricane Katrina, there was one tree that was still standing amidst the disaster that was spread throughout three states, right? Thousands of miles, and that was the oak tree. And the oak tree is one of the only trees that's interdependently connected by the roots. And that's how I look at being able to grow within a network, right, of peers, and become an entrepreneur, and to be sustainable and create scalability is by interdependently leaning on each other, having conversations like this, growing and figuring out ways that we could collaborate or partner or spread the word, or become stronger, right, in knowledge. So I say that not being afraid to ask for help. Don't let your pride, right, and that lump in your throat, what you think is actually pride, which oftentimes is just nerves, right, or fear, get in the way of stopping you from your dreams and your goals, something that you have dreamed about, or wrote about for years and years, and believing in yourself and telling yourself the truth, right, which you know which comes from looking in the mirror and self-checking, right? Because that's the truth. You can tell society one thing, but but the man or woman in that mirror is going to give you the reflection of truth. Not giving up, and that's the key. I think oftentimes one thing that I've learned is that we oftentimes as a people, as a society, as entrepreneurs, go 3 months, 6 months, 9 months seems to be the breaking point. And after like that 9, 10, maybe even a year, when you feel that things aren't going your way, when your business may not be making as much money as you predicted, or you may even have lost a few dollars, we give up. And I think that is the breaking point to allowing your dreams, aspirations, hopes to come to fruition, when unless you've actually hit that brick wall and somebody or something has told you, no, it's over, continue on and allow your goals that you've worked so hard to create and to build to continue and to come to fruition. And I think that's where a lot of people cut themselves short, right? And put people in the right places to do the right things at the right times. Right. And it comes back to interdependently, right? Understanding that you have to surround yourself with individuals that have a like-minded understanding, right? And lastly, do not cut corners, because it will come back and bite you. Run an airtight ship. If the state is asking you to do here, go here. Because it's all about that fingerprint. All about that fingerprint, and that follows you everywhere you go. And if your fingerprint is smeared, that's going to follow you everywhere you go. And when you do things above board the right way, you'll be gold.
Yes, I was just thinking INTEGRITY, integrity. I'm telling you, like, it's one of the most been one of the most, like, the catalyst for change in my life, hands down. And everything you said was so poignant. And just thank you for giving tangible advice, right? Like, when you started, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a real thing. I'll take a note on that. No, really, I mean, we appreciate that, and we hope that the viewers are going to appreciate that. So I'm going to thank you so much, and I'm going to allow Nia to thank you, and then, we'll let you go.
Yes, we appreciate it. Can we add you on LinkedIn? Of course, right?
Yes, add me on LinkedIn. Add me anywhere you feel. I don't have a TikTok, so I'm not on there. But if you send me a little ping, I may add you on there too. It's okay.
Perfect.
That's fun. That's fun.
Well,
You
yes,
guys are
thank you
awesome.
so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.